company that we chose is HBO Max and Discovery Plus. This is our outline, so let us begin. In order to talk about HBO Max, we will take a look at two timelines, one before the merger and one after the merger. I will only discuss about the important milestones. HBO was formed in December of 1965, and in 1973, HBO Cable was launched. After they shown tremendous growth, they merged with Time Warner Media in 1990. In 2016, AT&T announced they were merged with HBO for the amount of $85.4 billion. An interesting fact is that the U.S. Department of Justice tried to block the merger twice before it became successful. Now let us discuss about the timeline after the merger, or as I call it, the creation of HBO Max. In 2018, Warner Media announced they would launch a streaming service, and the following year the name HBO Max was created. As discussed in the previous timeline, the U.S. Department of Justice tried to block the merger of AT&T and Discovery twice before it became successfully merged in May of 2021. The merger allowed AT&T and Discovery shareholders to own 71% and 29% of their shares respectively. The price of the bundle was approved by its shareholders in March of this year and officially launched in May of this year. As discussed in the previous slides, AT&T and Discovery merged for the creation of HBO Max to happen. As we can see, there are also other streaming services called Discovery Plus. They also own the rights to numerous TV channels, as we can see. This shows the corporate structure of Warner Bros. Discovery along with some important leaders in the corporate. Not only does this show the corporate leadership, but also show the CEO and chairman of HBO and HBO Max. Of course, online streaming is a competitive market. As we can see, in 2007, there were only 3 major competitors in the streaming business. And in 2021, it blossomed to multiple streaming services or platforms. They are now competing with each other, including the 3 that were formed in 2007. Next, I'll hand it over to Nino.
Next, I will talk about competitive advantages and oligopoly of HBO Max and the online streaming services. I will talk about how can HBO Max compete with other streaming services and grow more in the future. And I will talk about how oligopoly is benefiting HBO Max and the streaming services overall. Let's first look at the online streaming services industry. As we know, the oligopoly is when there is limited competition. The market is shared by a small number of players. We know that apart from HBO Max, there are other big online streaming services like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. These key players are only a few players that share the majority of market share of online streaming globally. They can do so because they hold exclusive streaming rights to important movies, TV shows, documentaries under their brands. Some other new online streaming services might emerge, but eventually they will be merging and acquisition to compete to be top players in the industry. And as they stay as oligopolies in the market, they have better control over the subscription fees. Some merger news and in the industry right now that we know of about 6 companies, including first Paramount and Showtime to merge as one streaming app, and then Disney. There's also rumor about the merger of Disney Plus and Hulu. And lastly is the HBO Max and Discovery Plus merger that we are focusing on in this presentation. As you can see, the competition to stay as key player in the industry is inevitable in the future. They need to emerge to combine the quality contents together and also the number of subscribers together to stay on top. This graph illustrates the estimated number of subscribers if these apps are to merge. Disney and Hulu, after merging, they will have the biggest number of subscribers together. Let's now move to the competitive advantages of HBO Max. We all know that HBO is a very strong brand, and so is Warner Bros. As of the first quarter this year, HBO and HBO Max together have around 36.8 million global subscribers. They also own the big licenses like Harry Potter, DC Universe, Game of Thrones, The Lord of the Rings, and Friends. They could also implement strategy like releasing their blockbusters on HBO Max at the same time they reached theaters. And they still have a lot of unlaunched markets, therefore they have very high growth potential after the worldwide launch this year. This slide shows some of their important intellectual properties and streaming rights that are streaming in HBO Max right now. As mentioned before, the Game of Thrones franchise, the Lord of the Rings franchise, Friends, Succession, Rick and Morty, Harry Potter franchise, DC Universe, and Studio Ghibli. This graph shows that only in the US alone, HBO and HBO Max reached over 48 million subscribers in the first quarter this year, and the trend of the future growth is very promising. Among the big competitors, HBO Max market share is gradually growing, while other platforms like Netflix is seeing quite huge drop in subscriptions. So HBO Max is the orange one that's growing up here. This slide shows that even though Prime Video has the most movies and Netflix also have more movies than HBO Max, but the quality also is a key ingredient, not just quantity. So as you can see, HBO Max has the most high quality movies. They indeed have very high potential to be one of the top players in the industry.
Hello, my name is Anki Dao. Today I will talk about the pricing strategy of HBO Max and some information about Discovery Plus. Let's start. First of all, I will show the pricing plan of HBO Max in 3 markets: the USA, Europe, and Latin America. The price in Europe and Latin America are converted to US dollar here. We will focus more on the USA since this is currently the biggest market of HBO Max. In this market, they have 2 options: advertising supported and advertising free. The more expensive version does not have any advertisement, with the price at $14.99, and the cheaper option with advertising is $9.99. An advertising-free version will have more advantages like downloadable, some better quality titles. From the table, we can see that the prices are different from types of streaming plans and regions. One more thing I want to show in this slide is the price option from Discovery Plus, another streaming channel of HBO. And this channel is soon to be merged with HBO Max. This combination could lead to a plan for bundling pricing in the future with more options for users. Let's wait and see. In the second part, I want to give you more insight into HBO Max pricing strategy. From our research, HBO Max applies direct and indirect segment discrimination strategies. The streaming channel is structuring price choices for each market. In the USA, the product attribute of advertising is used to discriminate. In Europe, HBO Max is using image streaming quality to differentiate the customers. In Latin America, the company divides its users into 2 groups clearly by device type, using mobile phones or not. Another thing you can see here is that the demand for streaming services in Europe and Latin America is more elastic to price than in the US. That's why HBO Max has significantly lower prices there compared to the US. In the last part, I want to compare HBO Max price with its 2 biggest rivals, Netflix and Disney Plus. HBO Max is definitely not the cheapest one. Disney Plus has a price advantage. Netflix has more price options than the others. Let's talk about streaming content that is worth the money that user paid. You can see the 2 diagrams here comparing the content from 3 streaming services. We count the number of TV shows and movies users could hire for each streaming service with their quality levels. From these diagrams, HBO Max does have high quality content in comparison to the rest. Overall, the combination between the price option and the content quality have HBO Max is quite competitive in the streaming service market.
Hi, next I'm gonna talk about the demand on HBO Max and how COVID affected the demand. Also, how Warner Bros. And HBO, which are the one company, are increasing the demand for their product using market power. Also, I'm gonna talk about the possible supply and demand excesses. In 2022, with the COVID outbreak, tight quarantine measures increased demand in high usage of tablets, smartphones, increased the overall demand for streaming services. From the graph, we can see with the effect of COVID-19 how demand curve moved to right, increasing the quantity demanded for total subscribers. Not to mention that Warner Bros. Is the owning company of HBO Max, started pulling out licensed contents from other streaming services. For instance, in 2019, Warner Bros. Pulled out famous American comedy show Friends from Netflix, which is the biggest competitor in the market. With the copyright market power on popular contents, HBO Max are increasing the demand for the product and making the demand more elastic. From the slide, we can see increasing trend for HBO Max and for ad-supported plan from 15% in June 2021 to 31% in June 2022. Compared to ad-free plan, which offers higher quality streaming in 4K UHD contents without advertisement for $15 and ad-supported plan offers lower quality streaming with advertisement for $10. From supply and demand excess graph, we can see the trend on ad-free and ad-supported plans. Assuming that market equilibrium is in intersection of demand and supply curve, we can see excess supply trend $15 for ad-free subscription plan where quantity demanded will decrease. However, the quantity that HBO wants to supply will be higher at Q2. With the ad-supported plan for $10, which is lower than the equilibrium price, we can see excess demand trend where quantity demanded for HBO is increasing, but the quantity that HBO wants to supply is lower than the quantity demanded.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm going to talk about advertising elasticity. Advertising elasticity reflects how effective the company campaign in getting new sales.
As you can see from this chart, digital and TV advertising are two major media that share global ad spending. Especially digital advertising become more and more popular. This is why a lot of streaming media want to share part of this profit, including Max, Netflix, and Disney+. In this part, I will try to calculate the advertising elasticity for these three media from 2020 to 2021. According to this formula, advertising elasticity equals to percentage change in quantity demanded multiplied by the percentage change in advertising cost. For quantity demanded, I will use the subscription number. From this chart, we can see Netflix has the most subscribers, followed by Disney Plus and Max. For advertising cost, Disney Plus has spent the most, followed by Netflix and Max. After using this formula, here are the results. For these three numbers, their elasticity are all positive, which means the increase in advertising caused the rise in demand, and Max advertising seems much less effective compared to Disney Plus and Netflix. However, these numbers are not that correct because they are under the assumption that all other factors are the same. In reality, many other factors may affect the growth of demand, for example, price, market size, and content. For instance, Disney Plus has a very good reputation and a large number of famous IPs, just like HBO Max, but it also had a much lower price. HBO Max focuses on US and Canadian market, while Netflix is available in more than 190 countries and invested billions of money to create original content to attract people from different age and from different countries. So these are other factors that may affect the growth of demand besides advertising.
Hi everyone, I'm Serena. I'm gonna introduce the externality and the connection with the network effect. A definition of externality is a cost or benefit that contributes from a producer or consumer. It could be positive or negative and affect the society as a whole.
Let's look at the positive externality of merging between HBO Max and Discovery Plus. Since the two services are extraordinarily different, each of them is targeting different markets. In April this year, HBO Max has approximately 76.8 million users, and Discovery Plus has 18 million subscriptions. Under this graph, it shows the combination, the demand of HBO Max and Discovery Plus, which increase the total society demand, and it means that the combined stream service will be more successful and drive more subscriptions. Further, I'd like to introduce the connection with network effect. As mentioned at last slide, it's a phenomenon of network effect that results in a given user driving more value from a service or product as more users to join the same network. The diagram shows at first only one person used the streaming platform, and as more and more subscribers, there's an increasing total effect in value to all other users, and also having the marginal effect to enhance other non-users' motivation for using the product. Last, we will discuss there may occur the negative externality due to the other streaming platform provide bad quality movie or only focus on entertaining programs, which could cause bad effects in public, and in the end, the consumer will decrease, and the winning spending will also be less, since they don't like the contents or think it's less worthy. As the following diagram it shows, the good quality movie is more costly, and the original equilibrium of good quality movie supply and demand is here, and will be affected by bad quality supply. In the end, the equilibrium moves to a lower price and quantity.
Next, I'm going to share the impact and the effect of the merge from HBO Max and the Discovery Plus. Before analysis, let's look at HBO Max and the Discovery Plus from different points. From demographic segment, we can see HBO Max male subscriber with 61% allocated, mainly at the age from 18 to 34. They are male-leaning and event-driven. On the other hand, although Discovery Plus subscribers also have the biggest portion from age 18 to 34, there are 52% of subscribers from other age group, while these subscribers are more female and they tend to use Discovery Plus services every day. As for value proposition, we can find that HBO Max features the exclusive content library, high-quality movies, and they have some blockbusters like Harry Potter, DC Comics, Game of Thrones, while Discovery features its numerous TV episodes and exclusive TV shows, live video shows including HGTV, Food Network, Animal Planet, and the TLC. For the cost structure and the revenue stream part, since both of them serve streaming services, they share the similar cost structure, including license fee for the content, production costs, marketing costs, general admin, and R&D costs. Both of their revenue mainly coming from the subscription fee and the advertisement fee. Now we have known HBO Max and the Discovery Plus from different aspects. Then we want to discuss what advantage will it bring to them once they do the merge. To put it in a nutshell, they can reach economies of scope and their horizontal boundary will be extended. They are going to produce wider variety of content and the cost will be declined. First, they can appeal to different demographics, since HBO and the Discovery Plus attract different subscribers from different groups. They can be the complement to each other and become the most complete product. Second, they can cut the cost. Running one integrated platform instead of two enables the company to cut the general admin and the production costs. In addition, it helps them to utilize the budget more efficiently. Third, they can share the resources. HBO Max and the Discovery Plus have the top-tier talents from the film and the TV fields. With this talent, it would be a strong power for the development of R&D. In addition, they can provide wider range of availability of the exclusive content library and the licensed TV episodes. Next, we're going to predict how the streaming world would be with the merge of HBO Max and the Discovery Plus. Before that, we want to make some analysis of the current top-ranking streaming services. First is HBO Max and the Discovery Plus. Currently, before the merge, HBO Max is ranked number 4 in the United States market. They are still growing. They feature the high-quality exclusive blockbuster. However, among all the streaming services, they charge the highest fee, no matter with advertisement or not. The strategy of merge with the Discovery Plus is going to attract more subscribers. Second is Disney Plus, which currently ranked number 3 in the United States market. They are still growing and growing out very soon. Their key feature is the popular TV and the original movie, and their high brand value. In addition, they charge the lowest price among the streaming service. However, their shortcoming is that they provide the family-friendly content with the niche markets. Now their strategy will be focused on the different IP and separate platform to attract viewers from different groups. Third is the Prime Video, which currently ranked number 2. One of the reasons they got so many subscribers is because Prime Video is under the Amazon ecosystem. In addition, Amazon owns IMDb. They can take use of IMDb and Amazon member shopping data to apply the algorithm. However, they have one disadvantage is that they do not have their original content. Therefore, now Prime Video is trying to have their new strategy to focus on sports and the acquisition of the sport right in Europe. That will be our number 1 Netflix. Netflix is keeping at the leading position among the streaming services, and whenever people think about streaming services, they think about Netflix. Although Netflix has the limited copyright, Netflix original film and the television program provides plenty of the options for aspiring the filmmaker. The audience appreciates the unique contents like the world-famous Squid Game and the Money Heist. However, recently, because the severe competition among all the competition of the streaming services and the free password sharing policy, they are bleeding their subscribers. As a result, Netflix is planning to roll out an ad-supported plan and improve their pricing strategy. With this analysis and comparison, it will forecast that HBO Max and the Discovery Plus subscriber will keep growing with the merge, which appeal to different group of audience, while Disney Plus and the HBO Max are going to grow to taking the market share. Netflix are losing their subscriber, and Amazon is stop growing. Therefore, we predict that in 2020, Disney Plus will surpass Netflix to taking the number 1 in the market share. Netflix will become the number 2, and HBO Max and the Discovery Plus will become number 3 in the United States market.